Ann Richards, and your infection preventionist. And today's toolbox topic is 6 feet of physical distancing. In order to understand why we're being asked to practice social distancing, let's first talk about how coronavirus is spread. The main mechanism for spreading is actually from person to person in close contact. And that occurs when the ill individual coughs or sneezes, and those droplets leaving their body actually enter the eyes, nose, or mouth, or worse yet, are breathed in by the second individual. Now, there is a second way it can be spread, but to a much lesser way, is that those droplets actually land on a surface and your hand picks up those germs from touching that surface and you accidentally put it into your eyes, nose, or mouth. So this is why we're being asked to keep that 6 feet away from each other, especially those that are ill. But we also want to limit the close contact of others as much as possible. So what does 6 feet look like? Typically, it's your arm span. So if you reach out both arms from tip to tip, that's about 6 feet. It may be more, a little bit less, depending on how tall you are. But now let's apply that to work. So what does that look like? Reconsider that face-to-face interaction. Maybe you could use the phone to call them, an email, or we also use the Teams application, which allows us to video chat with multiple individuals all at the same time. We can still see and hear each other using this application. The other is to think about what 6 feet looks like within even your own office. So my office, I actually have caution tape going across the floor where 6 feet is. I've moved my chairs away from my desk so they're outside of that 6 feet zone, so that if individuals need to come talk to me, they can stop at that caution tape and still be safe for both them and myself. The other is really start looking at how can you stagger a lunch so that there are 10 or less individuals in any given room and still maintain that 6 feet of separation. My first hint is stay home unless it's necessary. But the rest of the time, really consider whether you can shop during non-peak hours or even online. Now, if you do have to go into the stores, I really encourage you to look when you enter the store to see if that store offers a hand sanitizer or a towelette that's pre-moistened with disinfectant, and you can use that to clean your hands and the cart handle. Now, when you are in the store, you really want to avoid aisles where individuals have stopped. Again, because we don't want to get too close to where they are physically at. And really focus on what's that space between you and others, especially in waiting lines. And my last one is make sure you continue to avoid gatherings with 10 or more people. We want to emphasize again that we need you to stay home if you're having a fever, a cough, shortness of breath, and I'm going to throw in diarrhea there too. The other component in the home is if you do have somebody that's ill, is try to maintain that 6 feet separation even when they're ill. So require that they stay in their bedroom. Have them only use one bathroom. This way it limits the amount of germs that could be spread within your home. The other is enjoy that free air. I know it sounds hard to believe, but sunshine is really great at killing viruses. And then my last hint for the home is really discourage your kids and teens from gathering in public places. In closing, I want to remind you that what we're really trying to do is lower and delay the epidemic peak, because your actions can slow that spread, because ultimately what we're trying to do is prevent healthcare from being overloaded. Only through doing these control measures are you able to help protect yourself, your family, your coworkers, and also your community.